type of thing, you know?
Like, we have free clinics here, but they're all income-based. So
Yeah,
if you make, like, a little bit too much money, nah.
yeah, like that's not good. Just have what Canada has, but then for the rich people that want to bitch about it, just have the option to just not have that. You want to walk into a clinic and get your care immediately? Okay, you have to be rich. Do you want just basic care as a human being? Here you go. You deserve it. Well, because like in Canada, if you're like a homeless dude who is just like collapsed on the street, you can still be put into a ward. You still get medical care.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's like you don't get a private room, of course, but
You gotta get the shittiest room, probably, but yeah.
yeah, you get put in a room with like 7 other sick people, but it's just kind of like you also are a person who just like was living on the street 20 seconds ago. So now you're in a hospital. And it's one of those things, again, no place has a perfect healthcare system. No place has a perfect government. I would just much rather have access to that. That said, I'm with like NL with the whole like why is dentistry not considered healthcare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, exactly. You're a person that has good insurance. You gotta think about other people that can't afford it, or that have worse.
See, that's the thing.
Or they have like really bad medical problems.
What Nick's saying is like, you've always had good insurance, so you don't understand it. You have to be in the position of the people to understand it.
Yeah, getting like even like my mom's boat. She has like
Atlantis didn't even have
tons.
everything perfect. Look at them; they sunk into the ocean.
like even my family has like medical debt. So
Yeah,
and we're not even that like sick of people. We're just
not that sick of people.
I'm pretty sure we're still paying off when I broke my arm.
Wow,
And that was when I was 14.
holy crap!
Fuck.
Walmart gives good insurance if you're a full-time employee. And it's because they know that they need to keep you there. It's like Starbucks. Starbucks has really good insurance too.
They love their employees.
It is because they're an evil company though. Evil companies always provide the best for their employees, but they screw over the general populace. Like for instance, when Starbucks bought like a tea company, they found out that the tea company wasn't washing the tea leaves before they shipped them out, so like tons and tons of pesticides were all over the leaves. Rather than changing that, they just kept packaging the tea leaves that way and told everybody that they didn't. But then some guy tested it and was like, nope, there are still insane amounts of pesticides on this. They just lied to everyone.
Like $9,000 insurance. Again, that's you. And I know people that can't get full-time jobs.
I would
and
also
they're
like to
work
point
part-time,
out that
so,
you can't make like $9 in Canada either. That's just not like a legal thing. I think like the lowest is like 11 right now.
Yeah, it's going up for us, at least, but
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like people are complaining about the like, guys wanting like $15 for minimum wage, but it's like no one adjusts for inflation anymore. Everyone just likes to go like, remember 50 years ago when I could use a nickel to buy like some candy?
and they think that's like how it works.
Yeah. Like
Plus, like even for
I've
part-time, you
seen
have to work
price
at a
adjust.
part-time place for a certain amount of time before you can qualify for insurance. So if in those like 6 months, I think it is, when you're working part-time, you get hurt, then
You don't ever get hurt when you're working part-time, basically.
oh, nice. That randomly expands separated.
I don't know what 401k is because Canada.
yeah. All I know is that my mom
actually.
had to take money out of it because
I guess
like,
it's probably
sick.
like a pension, maybe?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because in Canada you have pensions and stuff, but it's all regulated slightly differently.
Yeah, I know she recently like sold all the shares that she has in her company. She took out 401k money, all because of medical bills.
See, that's really rough. Like, it's just hearing that is just so hard to imagine because like that hasn't been the case in Canada forever, pretty much. So it's hard to imagine that system. Like, I understand how it works, and I understand that it's the norm, but it's like coming from where I am, I don't understand.
And she's had the same full-time job for 15 years, so she has good insurance.
Yeah, like I always say
Still.
stuff to Rachel, like, go see a doctor, but then I realize, like, America, and I still say it because if you're having genuinely bad, like, physical feeling, you should still see somebody, but it's one of those things of, like, you guys have the whole cost thing.
Even then, it's like, I don't really care, I just never see one over.
That's it. Up here, if you miss a doctor's appointment without calling like a day ahead of time, they charge you like $25.
Yeah, same
Makes
here.
sense.
Because they're just like, you wasted our time.
It's also $25 here. Yeah.
It makes sense
I
in
don't
my
worry
mind.
about like
Yeah.
ever having to go to the doctor because my dad's insurance policy thing is until I think it's 30, I can be
Wow.
on my parents' insurance.
I'm there for 25,
I know I'm off dental right now. Already.
which freaks me out for when I, you know, hit 25. But that's 3 years from now. By then, hopefully, I have a job with a place that has insurance. If not, hopefully, I'm making enough money that I don't need to worry about it. On the plus side, I seem to not be getting sick as much anymore. So.
Yay.
I never really mentioned how my monetary values and shit is over it.
Yeah, what Cop said 401k thing.
Because as I said, I technically.
Okay, yeah, that's
party in
like
a
Canada
house.
pension then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar. Yeah. Oh man,
Because
that is
we have
random.
pension
Our
system
side.
that you pay into every, you know, time. So yeah, it's the same.
It's random. Those are voting on.
Mike, my neighbor, he recently retired. Took like, I don't know, like 100,000 plus payout, and got a new car out of it because he works at GM, or worked at GM. And it was funny because my mom was like, "I'm surprised that Belinda, his wife, didn't take the vehicle," and I'm like, "It's his vehicle. He got it for retiring." Like, I wouldn't give it to her. Be like, no, this is my reward for working that line and keeping everybody in order. That said, I'm impressed that Mike didn't get fired earlier or die on the line. Because he was, like, drunk and high at the same time every day that he went to work.
Shouldn't do that.
All right, Cobb. Everybody should just work at Walmart. That what you telling me? Whole world just work at Walmart?
You know, the thing about that is Walmart is closing more and more stores every year. They open up
Over
more and
here,
more, but then
we
they
don't have
close more and
one.
more because they realize that they're not making money. It's the same thing with McDonald's. McDonald's is a great place to work, and then they're shutting down and shutting down and shutting down because they're just not making money anymore. I'm in a weird spot.
Oh,
I got under the bridge by accident somehow. We're gonna have to activate a support
Right now, I don't.
soon. These guys just aren't dropping any.
They're dropping a bit.
That is
Walmart.
very true of why Walmart fails.
Oh man, this is the video of Nordline playing Isaac, and he's talking about how like it'd be really nice to get Dark Bum right now, and he had a Candy Conception. Like as he's talking about like, oh, we won't get Dark Bum or anything like that. He takes damage, and Dark Bum just pops into existence. And he doesn't notice it.
That's pretty
He'll
good.
notice it and be like, "Oh shit." I always like watching NL when he's trying to be polite, right? And then Malf or like J Smith will say something and he'll just shout, "Oh fuck you." It's like you always see him trying to not swear, and then he swears like anytime Josh is around.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, I can relate to that. If I just stream on my own, it's just me sitting there being like, "Oh crap, oh crap," and then Nick's around, I'm just like, "Ah shit." Nick brings
I
out the
don't
worst
care, I
in me.
just sort of swear whenever
very
anyway.
You really are, though.
That's just like, I don't know, general part of language for me.
I try not to swear at my parents' house, but once in a while, you can't help it.
I just have to make sure that I don't swear at my employers whenever that happens.
Yeah, that's usually not good.
Because I always just do it in general bloody conversation.
Disco Death Ball.
For my boss, it depends on what it is. Like, obviously you
not
can't do it
the
around
C
the
word.
employees, but like if you're like in the back room and you use like current police on, you just be like, hey, just don't use that outside.
I'll be doing back office like shit anyway.
because he likes that word as well.
She did that around her parents, and her mom freaked out and was like, "What's happened to you?"
Oh, what?
I can like very seldomly swear around them. It's like it depends on the situation.
Okay, so like I
you've kind of-
can,
if
but
it's
my
justified.
mom doesn't like it out of nowhere. So like I'll just
Yeah,
be
same.
like,
If it's
And then I
justified,
think you get
Excuse the expression, but-
situation with me.
yeah, like your mom comes into the room swearing.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, fuck off.
yeah,
So, I think you get my situation. I'm a bloody commoner, aren't I?
I forgot. I went to I logged back into my DeviantArt, and I started looking at all the people that I follow,
Oh god.
and I followed a lot of weird people.
It's DeviantArt. That's
One blog
default.
is just literally a furry blog, like a blog furry thing, and it's like, I forgot that I did this.
Huh.
yeah. If I was gonna job at a Walmart, I'd be like in the back, so it just wouldn't matter.
I don't think I could just because like even the people that work in the back, they have to go out to the front at some point, and then usually
That's
they
the
get
thing.
bothered by the people that are in the front.
Exactly.
I
I can
cannot-
guarantee you to never
And
see
the
a
Walmart-
customer.
The Walmart customers are the problem. Like they
I
are,
would not be able
they
to do
are
anything
the
fucking
monsters.
retail. I hate retail. Oh.
Like the Walmart customers are monsters. They tear up the people that work there. And that's assuming that you have a good boss, because if you've got a good boss, then they just tell you, like, too bad, you can't do anything, just shut up. If you got a good boss, sometimes they come out and they're just like, hey, stop talking to my employees that way.
Yeah, America has this weird thing, and same with Canada, where like, I don't know, the customers are always right kind of thing. Not like
Canada
Europe.
has that a bit less than America, but oh
Yeah.
yeah, I still hate that.
Yeah,
I
and,
hate
like,
that philosophy.
In Europe, like they sit down, like you're allowed to just sit on a chair because you're sitting there all day. Here, it's like if you sit down, it's like no, that's considered lazy, and people like complain about it. It's so weird. And like you can't just be mean to a customer ever, even if they're being a dick. Like you are technically allowed to refuse service at gas stations and stuff, but
Oh no, I've seen people refuse service here rightfully
yeah, my friend has before too.
and not get in trouble, but yeah. Also, if you're an unloader, but I wouldn't be an unloader. I would be like a stock boy.
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a right around here actually hiring for that, so I didn't get it.
Shepard's sister Tia, she worked at the Foodland / IGA, depending on what you want to call it, and when you want to name it. And she originally like wanted to work with her headphones on, and her boss told her that like she can't. But I guess when nobody's around, he like lets her. So she was listening to music, and then he was like, "What you listening to?" And she was just like, "Oh, I'm listening to, you know, Camelot." And she was like having to deal with him talking to her in the first place, which was making her not be able to work as much. But then he was like, "Oh, what's that?" And then wanted to hear it, so she had to like let him hear the music that she was listening to. And he was like, "That's metal? It doesn't sound like metal." It's like, "That's symphonic metal." And he's like, "I thought that metal was just screaming." And she was just like, "Oh my god, just let me go back to work."
Certainly not just screaming.
I mean, better off isn't necessarily what I'm looking for, because unloader means that I'm gonna like damage my back and spine by the time I'm like 15 seconds into the job.
Yeah.
That said, I did find out that I'm stronger than I thought I was recently, so I thought all my muscle in my arms had disappeared, and then I lifted up like
My for instance,
275 pounds, no problem, so...
my brother has a permanent back injury now.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
he
pretty
drove
confident
taxis all
that I
day.
did. Wait, what?
He drove taxi all day.
How'd that cause him to have like a really bad back injury?
All day, every day. On a seat.
Okay.
I mean, you can
That's
get
not
things for the
fucking good
seats.
for you.
You can also get out.
Well, not just that. Like you can. That's
No,
why, like,
you
whenever you
can't
see taxis,
when
they
you're
have those
doing-
little bead things in the back. That's what those are for. To be comfortable. You can get all kinds of things. You can install like heated seats things. You can.
Also, you totally
solutions.
can just get out and stretch while you wait. People
When
get
you
out of
wait,
their
yeah.
cabs all the time.
But I mean, here you generally get cooled like all the fucking time.
That's wild to me. The taxi drivers in Ontario are still freaking out because of Uber. They're just like, Uber's an illegitimate service, they don't have insurance, and then they're like trying to justify why you should take a taxi, but then they just talk at you about why you shouldn't ever take Uber. So it's like their whole justification of why you should take a taxi is don't take Uber. And so the people that do take Uber, they're saying it's taking away from the economy of the city, but what they don't realize is that means you're just paying like people to drive you, which is exactly what that
you're
is.
still doing the same thing.
You're just not paying it to a taxi company. And like during like a protest that they held, they smashed in an Uber driver's windshield with a brick.
Oh, sheesh.
Well, he was in it. So
It's always good when you see that kind of thing.
it's just kind of like, you know what? You want me to take a taxi? Maybe like set a better example.
Yeah.
It's just a taxi. It's privately owned. Yeah. Also, like, taxi services are terrible, by the way. What Uber needs to do, though, is they need to start having, like, a background check thing where you have to just submit your background and then you can be a registered person on the app.
Do they not?
No. They don't background check you, which leads to a lot of shady people having Uber licenses.
I thought there was at least a license check.
Yeah, there's a license check, but there's not a police check.
Okay.
So you could be a sex offender and be an Uber driver. That's a problem. I think you need a police check, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that there needs to be like a regulation of how much goes towards the city that you're operating within. Like how taxis work. Other than that, like, I think Uber's a fine service. Competition is healthy.
Now you reminded me that I need a job, so I'm looking for jobs.
Nick, become an Uber driver.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fix your car, and then become an Uber driver.
car.
You just, fix it.
It costs
then-
money to fix it.
Yeah, I know. That's why you do
But
that.
then you make money.
That's why you do that after you get it fixed.
Or you get a
I'm looking to the future, Nick. I'm planning ahead.
If I can time travel, like, Jesus.
Also, there's another service, but I don't know if you guys have it in Michigan. There's a thing where you can just, like, go to the store for people, pick up whatever groceries they list to you in a message on the app, and then take that to their house for them, and just collect, like, a portion of the money.
Yeah, I've heard of that actually. I think Ubers provide vehicles. Really?
Some do, but not really. Some Ubers are just typical dude in a car.
I live in a small town, so it's not like it's not there anyways, realistically.
I mean, it might be because it would be cheaper than a taxi.
There are no taxis.
There you go. You will be the sole provider of this. You are a
only
commodity that has never existed there before.
They won't even say I took a cab seat. A cab seat?
A cab
Yeah,
seat.
word. Taxi, or they would say like, oh,
Nick drove me around town.
I'd be the only one.
How the fuck have you got no taxes?
Service probably just doesn't go that far, I guess, right? Oh, dude, this turret is like really good now. I can't get over it. I shot it into a crowd of dudes and they all just fell over.
Good.
Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 shots, but either way, it's like, it's still working.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you have toxin damage, though, like specifically toxin, not gas, you can't hurt toxic ancients.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Makes sense.
At least they don't heal from it, though. Like freaking Dingle and the poop bombs.
It's like forever. Can't do any of these.
Oh, alright, they're installed.
Can't do any of this stuff. Oh, the formatting on this.
What's
is
the
terrible.
longest thing you've, like, spent installing?
There's absolutely no space between when they start talking in this paragraph and the side of the screen. It's right there. Like the pixel of the word is right at the side of the screen. It's so ugly. Installing or downloading? Because
Either or.
Because I've spent a week downloading something.
A week?
Yeah.
Christ.
It was a week where I would pause it in a day and then all night they would download.
Wow.
And I don't know what it was, but I do remember it taking a week.
So I remember like downloading Star Wars Galaxies and it took 24 hours, and then the download had like corrupted somehow, so I had to re-download it, and it took 2 days to download Star Wars Galaxies, and then my computer could barely run it. And also it cost money.
Longest install, maybe like Windows XP.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think my longest install. Oh, another.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Getting all these like Prime parts. I still think my longest thing would also be Star Wars Galaxies, because that was on a computer that was really not meant to game.
Yeah, Windows XP, same with Cal. Yeah, and same, it was like formatting the drive, and then like how many wipes did I want to do the drive? Did like 3, that took like 2 hours.
Good
And the
God.
installing part took about 2 hours. Or an hour more like.
It's not as bad as it could be.
Oh yeah.
No, you could also be dead. Never look at how bad something could be. Just don't think.
But who says that's a bad thing?
I mean, unless you're suicidal.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. If people
I don't want to be
die.
dead, okay? I want to live my life, because it's
I don't
now
see a
or
problem
never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive, because it's my life.
Damn you, Noid.
Don't stop. Fucking hate you.
I don't even like him. That's the worst part of it. That
Oh my.
gas.
Yeah,
Oh
that gas.
my. Look at the face. Look at
Wait, what?
Look at. I'm gonna link it to you guys.
She's seeing Chibi Bon Jovi for the first time.
No. Look at the cutie. Wheels. Wheels. Just having fun in the water.
Okay. I feel like I could hold this up for fucking ages if we tried.
You feel like what, Charlie?
I feel like I could hold this up for fucking ages if we tried.
Yeah, I think the only thing is like oxygen every so often runs low, but we're doing good right now. We're doing real well in this situation where we need to just keep persisting and killing things.
Because all that stopped me on T3 when I was solo was the fact that there were nullifiers.
Oh yeah, that would be a problem.
Jobs.
That was the only thing that stopped me.
0 jobs, exactly what America will have left when all the immigrants come in, thanks to Marco Rubio. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna Photoshop that one day. And I'm gonna post that 1 to his Reddit and 2 to the Warframe Reddit.
Good.
Yeah, his Reddit, you look at ban. Warframe Reddit.
I don't care if I get shadow banned from the Warframe Reddit.
No,
There'll probably be a new
no, I
fucking
meant like
Warframe
his.
name.
Like, I don't know about the Warframe one.
And then they'll
I
add a
don't
new
know the
Warframe, and then it'll just be Marco Rubio.
They'll probably shadow ban me, to be honest.
It's possible. It's possible it won't though. I don't know.
If they have a sense of humor and they understand what I'm doing.
I don't. Like I said, I don't know the community, so maybe.
I saw one
I
guy
think
get
the
shadow
Warframe
banned
one
for
would be
giving
fine.
advice, so...
For what?
Giving
Yeah.
advice.
Oh.
In an advice thread.
That seems a bit backwards. Maybe it was really, really bad advice.
It was not. I think that they shadow banned him because he linked something using a tiny link as opposed to just linking the full link. And they were just like, well, we don't know if that's a virus link or not. It's like, you can hover over it.
Yeah. It's really not hard, and it's quite easy to just see in the PHP what it's connecting to as well.
It's like the download. Yeah.
Cancel the download. Oh. Oh yeah,
So I
I
don't
didn't think about
see-
dial-up times. I don't think I ever downloaded anything in dial-up times because I never, like, I would see the time and go like, nope, and just never bother.
So you're gonna laugh at this, but I was alive and using the internet right around the time where streaming media became possible, but very stupid to do. And as a result, I tried to stream a small video clip that existed on the Digimon site at one point.
You said this.
No, this is a different thing. I talked about going on the site before. I tried to stream a video from there, and it crashed the computer browser. So like,
No, I'm sure you
everything
said
just
this like years
stopped
ago.
working. Nope. I've literally spoken about being on the Digimon one as one of my first experiences on the internet, though. Never talked about it crashing my computer, though.
Oh yeah, I haven't said anything about crashing.
So, but yeah, that was a fun experience to, like, look over at my dad and be like, "Why did it shut off?" And he's just like, "You couldn't handle it."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's too much from it.
It wasn't around 2003. I think it was earlier than that.
I'm still an internet newbie.
God damn, broken cell.
Yep.
I never really did. I think like I never really did anything on there when I was a kid. So I just like I think I went to like the Lego website and like played the games on there. So they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was earlier than 2003 because in 2003 I would have been 10 years old. My dad left when I was 7. So that means I saw basically the worst possible streaming video imaginable, and it destroyed the computer for the day. Ah, piss.
We're watching Born in 2000.
It was a bunch of Leech Eximuses.
Probably like 2000.
That's fine by me.
No. Yeah,
Hey,
probably
you
like
get out of here.
When I just like randomly found porn on the internet.
Epic Person is just whispering me spam, but individually in, like, whispers. So each letter is just S S S P P P A A M M M Kipo.
Well, okay.
That's abuse of the whisper function.
I've never seen that function before.
I was a horny 15-year-old in 2000.
I was 5 years old in 2000.
I don't know what age I was, but at the same time, I really don't care.
I was 7 years old.
I was however old I
And my
was.
dad left. And I was actually kind of happy that he left because it meant that my parents wouldn't fight anymore and that he could be happy. But then I found out he wasn't happy when he left either. So ultimately, my, you know, being okay with it was for nothing.
I think 7 of them, my sister left, and I had the same feelings. I'm like, yay, no more arguments. So.
Trying to think, my dad was probably dead then. Or after then.
But were you
I
horny?
can't remember.
Were you horny? That's the important part of the stories.
Well, I mean, it's not like Charlie felt bad about it anyway. I'm not gonna piss him off for saying that.
Yeah, not exactly. Bothers me when people think I would be pissed off.
Yeah, right?
Fight.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I'm just like, what are you on
It
about?
makes sense for any other person except us, pretty much.
Her gun is really weird this game.
Hmm?
Her gun's really weird.
My gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a grenade launcher that shoots spores, and the spores then turn into gas, but the gas
cool,
has a
eh?
magnetic property, so it disables shields.
I
And
like
also, it gets into your lungs, and then you can't breathe, like actual gas.
Yeah, it happens.
And because I can replicate myself, I shoot 5 of them, which means I can just basically create a blanket. I'm just kind of World War I-ing these people.
Yeah, you are. Giving them the mustard gas.
I really like the guy in the trench that figured out how to counteract that. He was just like, just piss into it.
Yeah.
You guys ever see the Mickey Mouse masks that were gas masks?
Yeah.
Those things are like right out of a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
But I do have an actual gas mask somewhere.
I really want a gas mask.
Yeah, I know someone with one. It's pretty wild.
I had one from the World War II occupation, I do believe.
I don't remember the name of the person, but some quote-unquote celebrity spent $1 million like doomsday-proofing their house. So that was
Okay.
dumb.
That's
Yeah,
something.
I had one from the
kinda funny.
occupation.
Yeah, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I got some memorabilia. I don't remember it.
Will you die, please? For me? Ah, he grappled me. That's not dying for me. Fine, I'll make you guys fight for me instead. I'm just watching a bunch of these, like, corrupted guys fight each other now.
Good.
I found a warehouse job that pays $15 an hour.
What?
I found some warehouse job that pays like $15 an hour.
That's pretty
Fuck.
good. Must,
That's
like,
good
must
for
be
where-
really tough.
Yeah.
I'm looking, yeah. I saw that and I was like, I gotta read more into this now.
See, by the end of that, you're going to be the box ghost.
Hey, I
That's
can
a-
get forward with it again.
That's okay.
For me, it's great.
See, for me, it's good, though, I guess, but I already had 8. But, I mean, I'm going to be formatting all my weapons, so...
It's for eggs. The entire thing is eggs. I have to, like, make sure the eggs are okay.
You always kind of want a former
You
on the
just
go.
look at
though.
it and go, alright, buddy. Don't worry, you'll make it.
You're again online?
See, what you do is you just draw Saitama faces on each of them before you send them out.
Oh my god. That would be so good.
Then, like, a couple of days later, you just see a thing, and it's like, the Flint, Michigan superstore, blah, 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 experiencing a rash of egg tampering, causing the recall of thousands of orders of eggs to the local supermarket.
Oh my, I would be.
And then you just see a picture of Saitama's smiling face on one of the eggs.
See, the news would understand what's going on because they wouldn't get it, but then the internet would. I would be a hero.
It would just be like, a mysterious face that has begun to appear on eggs continues to baffle, blah, 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 and then, like,
It's just
somebody would
Donald's
just
okay
post it
face.
on Reddit.
Yeah. I like that. I also just like the idea of some person like taking the egg out of the card and just being like, "What the hell?" There's a
This little face.
sticking
See,
out of-
one person would find it that knows it.
and they're the ones that post it, yeah, or
Uh,
something.
Yeah, they'd just be like, I was shopping today, and there's just this egg with Saitama's face that came out of the package.
And then nobody would believe him, be like, "Nah, you drew that on there." And then the story would come out.
They're telling the truth. Ah,
You make me
freaking
wanna-
Venomous Eximus. You're new.
That's the news.
Hello.
Hello. My frame rate is suffering really badly right now. I don't know what it was, but that Eximus's particle effect is just real tough on me.
I punched him.
I saw. So, Nick, Charlie's new Warframe is basically invincible. It's actually broken. Like, there's
Yes.
some times where he just can't die.
Nice.
Also, he just, like, melees everything to death by, like, clawing through it.
The format on this one's terrible too. They didn't like word font or whatever they call it. Word wrap. That's it. Word wrap. I gotta scroll over to read the rest of it.
Ugh.
Who does this? Who works here? I'll take that job.
You'll take their editor.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why Meg doesn't try to do something like that. But then I remember that's work. Well, she's got, like, a degree in, like, English, right?
Creative writing.
Yeah, so, like, why does she not try and become, like, a writer at, like, a newspaper or something? Or, like, some form of, like, you know, anthology writer or something? I don't know.
I think I'd hate doing shit like editing
Also,
because
weren't you saying she was working as a sub?
Yeah.
How does she work as a sub when she doesn't have any teaching credentials? She has that.
Because in order to be a substitute teacher is you don't really have to have any qualifications because all you're doing is sitting in the room
That's
making sure the
weird.
kids aren't doing
That's
anything.
crazy!
yeah,
All
In
you have to do
Canada,
is
you have to go through, like, a course to become a substitute.
you
Some teachers
fucking
are only
have
there
to.
for like one day.
Holy shit,
It's like
bro.
even if they do nothing, you're not gonna really impact their.
But you still need to in Canada.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Over
saying
here,
like
you need to
I mean,
fucking-
it's not important.
usually the teachers have like a list of what they want you to like. It's like the kids need to read this. The kid basically a substitute teacher is there just make sure that there is an adult present. So if the kids do anything stupid, get hurt or whatever, they can call the principal and be like, "What the fuck do I do?"
Yeah.
That's
Again,
They're not actually teaching anything. They're just
That's-
like, your teacher left me to do, like, your teacher told me you have to read this, or you have to do this worksheet, or whatever, you have to go ahead and do it. Or some teachers even,
frig.
like, just have a study hall.
These goddamn ancients.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
too
really.
close,
It's like
man.
even if they did nothing.
That's just bonkers to me, though.
No,
Yeah,
even if they
I
did
get
nothing,
it.
it would not impact.
It doesn't matter. They're
Like-
teachers.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. You're thinking the word. Just because it says substitute teacher doesn't mean they're teachers. It's just,
But
Like all their, it's like you were there, and sometimes they're not even there for a full day. Sometimes they're there for like literally 2 classes. You're just there to make sure that there's an adult present.
you know what they do
see-
in Canada for that? They get
Oh
the
my
teacher that's
God.
off duty.
wait, who says there's not to be a teacher?
Every school has a teacher that has a work period where they're just sitting in like an area marking stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys
I love
not
that.
have these things in your schools?
I mean, not every school's that big.
Not
no.
every. Not
Nick,
every
I have
class is
those in
big.
my schools. My schools weren't big. We had to fill it with 4 to 5 other towns worth of kids. Like we had 400 people at most in our
No,
school.
everybody
once.
was working. They would mark papers at home.
No, like they had work periods where they would go to the teachers' lounge. They would mark the papers there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they all did it at
Yeah.
home.
Oh, like the teachers would do stuff at home when they didn't get it done at school, but like the thing was they had that period off. And so they would just be like, okay, so we're going to call you in because we need you to just supervise a class.
Plus, that kind of goes against their whole period off, doesn't it?
No, because they still have to be on premises. It's just you get
I'm
the
sure-
time out
I
of
mean-
class basically.
Again,
I'm
either
sure
way,
that
at the
way-
very worst, it's like 1 day off. It's not going to impact the
But you say it's only 1 day off, but we had a teacher call in and say like, okay, I'm going to be off for today. And then the next day they were like, I'm still going to be off. I'm really sick. And then the third day they realized they had like a bronchial infection and they couldn't come in for like 2
okay,
weeks.
When it comes to that sort of thing, then yeah, they get another teacher. They get someone that's like fucking.
Yeah.
I just
We
prefer
have-
that they have
we-
an actual teacher in there who knows what they're doing and they don't have Meg crying in the corner because she doesn't understand how to deal with children.
Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal.
It's
It's-
like a few days.
No.
At most.
No.
It's literally like
This
one
this
day,
is
maybe
this is
2.
this is exactly why the American school system is
It's a
failing.
few days. It's not going to
Charlie,
affect anything.
Shut the fuck up.
You're just trying
Charlie,
to
you
say
think this is
Canada's
crazy
right.
too, right?
Yeah.
It's a few days.
That's pretty weird.
Whatever.
bonkers.
We've had substitute teachers that were there for months, but they weren't substitute teachers. They were like actual teachers that were substituting. If it goes on for more than a
Yeah.
week,
See, we
reenact-
have we have
If
actual
it's more-
substitute
if it's
teachers who
more
that's
than
their
1
career.
day.
We have a whole field based on substitute teachers, so it's like you are a teacher who comes in and fills in for people for a day.
That seems like
fills
such a
in
Like
for-
that.
But the thing is
Like
though,
that here.
the thing is though, like they come in either for a day, or they get a contract thing where they're there for like 2 weeks, they're there for a month, they're there for 3 months, like.
Not just be a teacher at that point.
But because
Okay,
sometimes they don't have the necessarily like ability to like being a substitute teacher allows you flexibility but also hireability. Like, do you have the next 3 weeks that you can be here, or do you have previous obligations? Okay, so do you have the ability to come in just for 1 day? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's
Like, the difference I
it's
see
being
is,
a
like-
part-time teacher.
Yeah, like difference I see
Okay,
is teacher full-time, substitute part-time. That's how we have it here.
Yeah.
What happens is usually if it's 1 day or whatever, they just get. It's like, are you just? They get a sub, like our normal sub. They get someone like Megan. But if it's like a week or 2, or
I
even
just
more than that,
still
they
couldn't
usually
handle
try
that.
to get. They usually try to get someone who is qualified to fill that position.
How about-
I know sometimes at my school, if it was like a long, like our art teacher was out for like a month, what did they do if they couldn't find anyone to fill the position? There was a college near us, and they were like, "Are there any people who are going to be like teachers?" They'd bring them in, and then they'd bring someone else, like an actual sub in, and it's like it doesn't matter. It's just literally like it's a couple days. All
Do you
right?
ever have days where the teacher just doesn't feel like doing anything and just
No.
shows you like a movie or something?
No, those
Uh-huh.
movies were almost entirely because one, the like lesson was done and we were
There you
ahead
go,
of-
then.
No, but this is the thing: if the lesson was done, the schedule was over. Like that meant that we were ahead of the curve. We'd been doing our work faster than planned.
Although over here we never did that.
Yeah, like
So-
if we
There's
had
still- it's like, if a teacher isn't in, it's not like the kids aren't doing anything. They leave a to-do list for
Oh
the
no,
substitute.
no. They don't do anything if there's a substitute that doesn't know how to teach. Trust me. We've had teachers
Yeah.
come in who are like what you were talking about, college students who needed hours, basically,
Okay,
right?
they have to be a good substitute teacher still. I'm not
But
saying that they
that's the
don't need to
thing.
be a substitute teacher. They just
It's
don't need to
not like-
literally teach.
It's not Noid, it's not like they fucking take any fucking Joe Schmo off the road. It's
No,
like
they
they have to
don't.
do a
Also,
background
no, they
check.
don't get
have-
paid
they
very
have to-
well, Gob. But that's my
They
point.
have the people that are subs have to have a college degree. It's like they don't. It's like I
But
could not
a
be.
college degree in anything means nothing. You could put a freaking
But-
person with a college degree in like thanatology
It
in
doesn't
there.
matter if it's one motherfucking day and the teacher's like,
It
have
matters.
these kids do this.
It totally
I'm
does.
so
That's it.
confused with
Doesn't
this
matter
fucking
at all.
system.
It's a
I
day.
really
It's
don't understand it.
baffling, isn't it, Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so baffling that it's one day.
It's
oh my
actually
God.
confusing.
You could like just
Oh my
give,
God.
you could just take all school away for a day and everybody would get the same grades. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
still
I'm
doing-
not.
they're
I'm not.
still-
I'm not in favor of this.
We're still doing the
Well,
work.
good thing you don't live in the U.S. then, Noid. How about it?
That's the thing. I don't, and I never intend to.
Oh man.
Good for you.
Every time I hear about something down there now, it's just like a, freaking hellscape.
So hey, I might just fucking get stabbed one day.
What?
Oh, mostly shot. Okay, over here it's getting stabbed.
Yeah, you're in the wrong country
Okay.
if you're looking to get
I might get a
stabbed.
shot.
The U.S. it's shootings. The UK and its associated areas, it's stabbings. And in Canada, it's like, I don't know, getting bludgeoned with like a hockey stick or something. Actually, you know what? It's probably going down a luge thing really fast and then dying because you're an idiot.
I looked it up. You do need a license to be a substitute teacher, so it is still a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is not a full teacher.
But a license is still
is a
saying that you've
license
done a
for
course.
It is a, well, yeah. I never said it didn't do courses.
Well, Rachel's implication is that all she has is a creative writing course, and if all you have is a creative writing course, I don't think you should ever be in a biology classroom.
It says districts may require a substitute license or certificate, so it also depends on where you are and the school. Either way, it's one day. So it matters.
Doesn't fucking matter.
It
It's
still
one fucking day.
matters.
Holy
It's a
shit.
day. It doesn't matter at all.
It's one day.
matters.
How does it matter? How do you think it's going to affect grades?
That sort of stuff affects me when I was in classes.
Then you're a bad
Yeah.
student.
No, because one day could be the difference between getting through an entire thing.
It depends on what you're doing.
You
Okay,
might
first off,
might miss an entire portion of that because then you're a day behind.
But you're not
Maybe you
behind, you're
guys
still
just
getting
dicked
the subject.
around in class, but I didn't.
You're still learning the subject.
Not necessarily. If you get the
Nah.
one day where you're not learning and it's just garbo,
But you are.
It's
Not
it's
necessarily.
never one day of just you sitting there shoving your thumb up your ass. The teacher, usually the day before, the teacher's like, "You're gonna have a sub. This is what you're gonna do." And then when
If
the
they
day
did that, I
comes,
just would have fucking
like
skipped. I was
it's
like,
like
fuck
you have
this.
to do classwork. You have to do homework. You got to do something that revolves around that classroom. Sometimes you have to do like I don't know if you had them, but we had super PowerPoints that we had to go through, and we had to take all of these notes. And the next day, when the teacher came back, we had to go over the notes. And he's like, guess what? Here's your homework. Here you go. It's like, it's not like you're sitting there not doing anything. You're still learning shit.
but see,
And it's not
the thing is though,
provided
like,
by it's provided by the teacher.
but
who
if
had
the
a
person doesn't
parent
understand
the
what
day
they need to
before.
talk about, then people
But they
fall
don't
behind.
need to talk about anything.
But you do, because like they give you work, they give you assignments, and you need help sometimes. You don't get the help because that person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
I've never had a substitute teacher that didn't know at least a basic level of what they were teaching.
I've-
Maybe it's different for college courses and stuff for subs, but for high school ones, everybody's going to understand it at least.
I've
enough.
seen high school teachers not understand stuff at a certain
Oh, yeah,
level
I've seen-
because
Those
they
were
walked in.
exceptionally dumb ones. Because
No, it
just
was
high
because they just pulled out a rando and were like, "We need you to cover for this," and then they were like, "Yeah, but you know that I'm a bio teacher. I don't know like the first thing about like
I'm
complex."
confused on how you said you've seen teachers like that when all your substitute teachers apparently have.
Because
degrees.
I said that they have to get real teachers, but we had one teacher who was like an 80-year-old, and she wouldn't leave, so she was not trained.
We had someone like that in English who was like half fucking deaf.
I remember we had the substitute teacher.
But
that
then
was-
she did get kicked
There's
out.
always that one teacher who won't get out of the business and refuses to also learn. So there's always that one, and she had seniority, and because she had seniority, they couldn't kick her out. So there was the one teacher who, if you ever got her, everyone was just off the walls, like crazy. Nobody listened to her, nobody did anything, and all she would do is get mad and shout at the class, and then the day was disrupted, and
Well, then she shouldn't be a teacher.
oh no, she shouldn't have been a teacher, but that's the thing. Like, she was the one teacher that's bad, and every teacher has that one teacher. But it's still that whole like, you know, what's the term that I'm looking for here? exception that proves the rule type of thing. Like, everyone else was solid. She was just, ugh. Like, even the other teachers were like, she shouldn't be here.
The education system works in America for average children.
It doesn't work for anyone that has any sort of, like, quote,
They're not very good at
unquote, disability.
accommodating.
Like, I don't want to say disability, but, like...
School was terrible for me. Like,
Yeah.
I remember
School is
whenever
terrible for me.
whenever I would
was
get
terrible for me.
in school suspension, and they would just give me a bunch of work to do, I would do all of it, and like that would be like my grades got better. But then I went back to the normal classes, then my grades would be terrible.
Ooh.
So it's like I was just better if they sat me in a room and they gave me nothing else to do but work.
We
Then I was amazing.
actually had a thing for that, and the kids got made fun of it for the early years, right? So then they decided that what they were going to do instead was they were going to implement what were referred to as, like, teachers' aides, even though they're not
Yeah, we have
technically teachers' aides. They called them teachers' aides because they didn't want the kids to know that they were there to help the other kids. So what would
Yeah.
happen is they would be there to help them, but then the other kids that didn't need help would ask for help, and they would, like, blow them off. So then people were getting offended about that, but they, like, it was one of those things like the kids were too young to understand why they were there, so they were mad they weren't getting attention. But
We
they
had-
were
we had
there to help
periods just
people like
for
you
making
keep
up work.
focus, basically.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
we
periods
even
just for
had-
making up work, but the teacher was
Yeah.
terrible. We all just goofed off. Because
Yeah, see, those
even
I
had-
hate study hall idea. Like, it's just we're gonna shove you guys in a room and expect you to do work. No one's gonna do work.
Yeah, well, there's a teacher there. He just didn't like do his job. Basically, like he was a gym teacher. That's an example of them putting the wrong person in the wrong place. Is they took the gym teacher.
Ah.
You're gonna run study hall, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I
See,
usually,
the
when it came to
closest
my
thing we
study
had-
hall, I always asked if I could go to art class, and they were like, "Do you have a pass?" And it got to the point my art teacher got tired of writing passes. He just went to the principal's office and was like, "Can you please change your study hall for just having a third art class, please?"
See, for me, we didn't have study hall because I guess, again, like, we kind of came to that understanding of nobody does anything in it. So what you could do is once you got to 11th grade, you could have a spare. Which was, do you not want to take a class? You can have a class off. And so what some kids would do is they would take the class off in the morning and get a ride in. So that way, it was like they could sleep in. And
Makes sense.
believe it or not, that helped a lot of kids. Like, just that little extra bit of sleep really helped some kids, like, function
Oh,
better.
I would have done so much better in school.
And
if I-
some
if I
people,
started later.
what they did was because they, obviously, like, I don't mean to be rude when I say it, but they were, like, poor. So what they would do is they would leave at the end of the day and take their spare on last period, and then they would go and find a job.
Fair enough.
So that was good. But what I would usually do is get my spare for, like, midday because I just wanted, like, a longer lunch period. So then I would just sit and play my Game Boy or something until the last period.
I like the other start of the ends.
Yeah, that's another reason that study hall's a thing, but
Oh,
it doesn't really work when I had a tiny school. It didn't have any good extra classes. So
Our school had dumb classes in association with it. Like we didn't offer, like, automotive, but a bunch of people worked on farms.
we used to actually have a automotive class and everything. I remember we had a wood shop and like electric kind of class, and we went up to get some wood one time, and we looked through the wall and we could see a bunch of like machinery for working on metal and like like cars and stuff. And we asked the teacher, and it's like, "Oh yeah, we used to like work on cars, but we ran out of money for that."
Well, see, like, it always weirded me out that we didn't have that because farmers.
yeah, we had tons of farmers.
Like, teach them how to repair their stuff. Like, I'm guaranteeing that if their reasoning was, well, we don't have a teacher that could do it, you could have just had, like, the teacher that knew the most about cars come in, and then the students who are, like, the children of farmers.
Yeah, there's gonna be somebody.
Yeah. Also,
We had
like,
a-
the woodshop people were terrible. They were all the worst kids.
We like in middle school we had like a mandatory thing where we had to take like one semester art, one semester like
This sounds pretty
shop, one blah
standard.
blah 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 blah. And when I got to
Wow.
my shop class, I was so bad at it that the teacher was just like, "We're just gonna send you back to art class. And we're just gonna pretend that because I broke one of the machines. I wasn't anytime measuring came to play. I just fucked it all up. It they were just like, you're just really, really bad at this, and to make it so he's like, just get out and go.
Shop was easy.
I was like,
It's
okay.
nail things to things and go.
For me, they tried to put me in shop because you need to have like a certain number of credits, right? And so it was like, I'm not interested in shop. And they're like, yeah, but it's a good skill to have. And I'm like, you know what else is a good skill to have? Anything when you're my age. So I just took bio. And I got really bad at bio when it came to talking about like the, math behind biology. But when it was just knowing the terminology, I was like, this part is this part is connected to this part runs to this part. And it was just like, yeah, alright, I'm good at this.
We actually had a cooking class, I remember.
Yeah, there was a cooking class at mine, and of course all the girls took it, right? But so did that guy that, like, tried to grab my junk. And, like, when he took it, he, like, sat right next to and always tried to partner up with my ex. And that's when the situation came about where he tried to talk about grabbing my junk to her.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, don't ever talk to me about this. Thank you for grabbing that, by the way, Charlie.
I wish I could have taken
Yeah.
cooking class. I don't think I was ever able to for some reason. We had like a guitar class too afterwards where you can learn guitar, and I really wanted to take it, but I had detention every single day in school, and it was after school, so I couldn't take it. And I remember I asked the principal if I could get my after-school detention moved to in-school detention, because one, I could do the guitar courses, and two, I do a lot of schoolwork in the in-school one, and he said no. So
Also, I like Gob's statement of, I told him to fuck off and did what I want.
actually did that once. I actually told him to fuck off one time.
So,
He got kind of mad at me. Also, I had principal every day because I had
I had principal every day.
the entire day.
Oh god, I'm
I
down.
had detention every day because I was tardy every single day for school.
They stopped giving detention to kids that were late once you turned like 16.
I never understood it. It's like I didn't want to come to school, so I just show up in time. Here, you're not going to come to school as much.
Yeah, I really don't get that.
Well, like at my school, once you hit like 16, you were accountable for yourself mostly, because 16 is the age where you can like legally move out of your parents' house in Canada. So
I think it's like 17 here.
yeah, so like you were kind of accountable for yourself. So if you were late, there would be like a phone call home, being like, this kid was late, right? But it was like you just went to the office and signed in. And you were like, sorry, I'm late. And as long as you like didn't show up until like halfway through the day, like if you did that, then you're in trouble. But
I remember my first period teacher would just like, he ignored half the times I was late just out of sympathy.
Oh yeah, there was a ton of teachers that didn't care. They were like, as long as you're here before I finish my coffee.
Yeah, but even the half they did count was enough for me to get kicked out of school for a whole week one time.
See,
Which seems very
they don't do that at my school.
Oh no, wait. No, that was for me. No, that was for something else I did.
Yeah,
I tried that, like, hide in the back of the classroom for a while. It took 20 minutes to find me. It was awesome. She was really pissed. That got me kicked out.
They do this in-school suspension stuff at my school.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, they just
that makes
see
more sense.
in-school suspension for you, Nick. Perfect. I never got an in-school. Well, I got an in-school suspension in like 7th or 8th grade because I talked back to a teacher that was a substitute who didn't understand what I was trying to communicate with them, and because they didn't understand what I was trying to say, they got mad at me. And it was because they didn't understand the terminology that I was using, and also how I didn't comprehend something that they gave me. So like, I'm terrible at when it comes to looking through a textbook, right? I don't know what it is, but I can't find what I'm looking for when I'm looking through a textbook. And I think it has something to do with it being a tactile device that I have to read. Like, I'm the opposite of most humans, where it's like you're supposed to read and write stuff on like real paper because that's how you absorb it better.
I can't do that.
Yeah, same. I can't. So they got real mad at me because I couldn't figure out where one question was, and they were like, you have to have all of these questions done or else blah blah blah, I'm gonna leave a note with your name for the teacher when he comes back. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, one question and you're gonna like write me up? Like, I couldn't find the answer. I genuinely couldn't find the answer. And they were just like, what do you mean you couldn't find the answer? I'm like, I couldn't find it. And they're like, well, why didn't you ask somebody else? And I'm like, I did ask. They wouldn't help me. Oh, well, that's stupid. Why wouldn't they help you? They wouldn't help me. I'm telling you the truth. Well, that's your problem. Then you should have went to somebody else. I went to people and they wouldn't help me.
In that situation, I probably would have said you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I told them, like, I'm not going to sit here and take this from you when you're
Yeah.
telling me that I'm not trying hard enough when I've tried, and I don't want to have to do that stuff. That stuff makes me uneasy. Like, I just don't want to fill in the whole thing. He's not going to be mad that I have, like, 9 out of 10 answers. And so they gave me detention, and I ended up in detention, and detention was supervised by my homeroom teacher. And they looked at me, and they were like, Tyler, what are you doing in here? And I was like, yeah, I know, right? That's what I said.
Oh no!
I really like
Detention.
that.
And to prove
But it
the
wasn't
point
like-
that I wasn't the only one that got screwed there, half the class was in that detention class.
I got.
Oh, we got a full
detention
class in detention.
because on the like in the back of our like it was our school, and then there was like the fields and all that shit, and there was just nothing but like miles and miles of forest and mountains. And on lunch break, I wouldn't eat lunch. I'd go into the forest and the mountains part.
Of course
But
you did.
I kind of lost track of time. So when I came back, it was like
Oh,
3 periods
God.
later. And I walked in, and they were like, "Rachel, where were you?" And I was like, "I was in the woods." But like they assumed forest, so they thought I was like smoking and doing drugs.
Yeah, that's like where the people that did drugs went for us.
Yeah, we also had
And-
a patch of woods next to our school.
Over here, we had a place called The Hole.
I still
Like,
like the
they're-
fact that there was that one instance where the guy was like, let's go back to the woods. I can, And I was like, I'm not taking you up on that offer.
Yeah, they were like, "Rachel, what were you doing there?" And I just like showed them like a sketchbook, and I was like, "I was doing this." And then the principal was like, "I don't want to give you a detention because you were doing kind of sort of schoolwork." Like,
You weren't doing drugs, you were doing draws.
he's like,
Wait,
"Listen, when I became a senior, our principal became so laid back. Like we went to the
Frig.
the principal's office because I had to pick something up, and we started talking. It was like me and my friend Heather. He's like, "Why aren't you guys at lunch?" And I'm like, "We don't really like the lunch." So he's like, "Yeah, I don't like the lunch either." And he was like, he like gave me $20, and he was like, "Go pick us up a large pizza."
Whoa.
And then
I
we had
don't believe I ate a single time when I was at school.
we had one friend who during the summer he's like very high techy, I guess. So they were like, "We will pay you money if you help the maintenance guys set up all these cameras and shit." And he was like, "Cool, I'm down." But the
Also,
thing
I
is,
like
they
what Gob just said.
Yeah.
They forgot to take the keys back.
Oh yeah, you
So-
told me about this.
Yeah, so one day I was like after school I was gonna go hang out with Heather, so I always brought like my PS3 with me, and we were sitting there during study hall, and Jeremy was like, "Hey, do you have your PS3 in your car?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Well, I have the keys to get into the teachers' lounge." And I'm like, "What's your point?" And he's like, "I also have the keys to open up everything." He's like, "Even like the place the teachers hide all their food." And I'm like, "So we're gonna break into the teacher's room and we're gonna
So you're
play
gonna
video games?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we did it, and then like maybe 30 minutes into it, like we heard a knock on the door, and the principal opens up. He just pokes his head in, and he's like, "You guys aren't doing drugs, are you?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "All right," and shuts the door again.
So, to go on the opposite spectrum of this, I went in the teacher's lounge all of one time, and they looked at me like I was a pariah, and then went, "What are you doing in here?"
Wow.
And then when I told them that I needed to talk to one person, they said, "Make it quick." And then the person came over, spoke to me for a little bit, and then I got told to leave. And the way they had the like teacher's lounge set up, the sun would like you know like this is gonna sound weird, but you know how the sun naturally tints a window, like you see it and the sun like comes over an area and then it hits the window and you can't see in it.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like the way they had the teacher's lounge set up was that it had a door that went outside, but you couldn't see in the window unless you pushed your face up against it. So then they'd know you were looking in it, and then they just like thump the glass and scare you. It was like the teacher's lounge was where all the teachers went to be dickheads. And on that note, the only teachers that didn't go in the teacher's lounge were the really cool ones. Like there was this one that we had. He wasn't cool in the traditional teacher sense, but he was cool in that he was the weird teacher. Like he was the guy that if he was a professor in a college comedy movie, he would be the one that had a bow tie and a cowlick.
Alright.
You know, like he was the easygoing guy that put his like feet up on the desk.
Yeah.
Like one time, a student came in who was like a grade above us, and he just started like talking to another student, and he was like, "Okay, if you're gonna be in here, could you keep your voice down?" And it's like he's a grade ahead of us and not in the right classroom. Like, what? You're just gonna let him be here? And he's like, I can't get him out of here. Like, I can't touch him, so I'm just gonna tell him to like keep his voice down. And then at one point he said porn when he meant to say corn, so that made him a laughing stock for a little bit. And everybody got creeped out at him because they said that he was like looking down girls' shirts, but it was not that he was looking down girls' shirts. It's that girls sit in front of you at a desk, so you have to look down at them when you stand in front of them. And so he would do that, and he was just a very awkward man, so he would look around all kind of like shy because he was like embarrassed to like be close to people. And it was just like, everyone thought he was such a weird perv, but he was just an awkward,
We had a
shy
teacher that
teacher who
actually
didn't know how to
did that.
talk right.
We had
I
a
got
teacher
that
that
pretty
did
fantastic
girl
few
shirts.
times.
He was really weird.
What?
He was like this old guy. He was like this like really old like science teacher. And I remember one time we were taking a test, and it was like really quiet. Everybody was just taking a test. He was like walking around doing the rounds, checking everybody's paper. And then he took a turn around a desk, and for whatever reason, he put his arms out and then made airplane sounds as he went around the corner. He was just walking around really normal. Then he's here as he goes around the corner. Everybody just looks up and doesn't say anything. He just keeps on walking.
So
That's
for me, the weird
When,
things that we would get is we had one teacher in 8th grade for French class, because this was when French was still mandatory for us, because of course it is. They would just sit at their desk and just go,
That's mandatory for us as well. I don't know fucking any words before.
And I heard a rumor, like, I can't verify how true this is, of course, right? But I heard a rumor that he got, like, quote-unquote arrested for suspicion of child pornography. So, like, maybe he was just looking at some illicit materials during classes.
Just right there.
Like, oh yeah.
He was also the teacher that confiscated that one guy's, like, DVDs who was making the counterfeit DVDs.
Oh yeah.
We had one teacher who taught like the sex ed stuff, and he took full advantage of an 11th grade when we had like 3 girls who were like in different stages of their pregnancy. He was like, "Hey, when you guys have a free period," he's like, "I'm teaching a sex ed class." He's like, "I want you to come in," and they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "You'll see." And so like they'd go, and then he'd have he would have drawn on like canvas paper and would like wrapped it around them, and he'd be like, "This class, this is where the baby is, and this is kind of where it's positioned, and when it gets back to
beautiful.
9 months, he'd be like, it's gonna go down this hole." And the girls were just like, they came back, like they met me in like math, and they're like, "That was just the most uncomfortable experience." And I'm like, "No, like that's kind of funny." Like that's what you get.
So, in my whole time being at my school, I only knew of 2 girls that got pregnant, and one got pregnant after she quit school. And one got pregnant, and I wanted to say I told you so, but I was refused from doing so by my girlfriend. So,
If you said.
I think we had a few, if I remember correctly.
those are the only 2 that I know of.
I dropped out in like 10th or 11th grade, so I never really
I don't even
saw a lot of them that happened.
No, but at the same time, I really don't care.
Like, I don't care, but it's just like, I really wanted to tell her I told you so. Like, she literally was just like, "Yeah, like, my dad got really mad at me because I wasn't using a condom, but, like, I'm not gonna get pregnant." It's like, when you get pregnant, I'm gonna tell you.
I would have done
I do remember there was someone who did carry a baby around all the time. That was probably hers. Come to think of it. Maybe, I don't know.
They carried the baby around in school. Interestingly enough, it was fast-tracked to high school, so it was on its way to get a diploma.
It just feels fucking weird to think
just
that
a
people
genius
younger than me get pregnant.
Happens.
Yeah, but it feels weird. So why the fuck are you getting pregnant?
One of the girls that was pregnant in high school is like pregnant with their 3rd kid, and they all have different dads.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
The girl that got pregnant at my school got pregnant again like a year and a half later. She hit the ground running with that. And her and the guy, they made an effort. They tried. They wanted to be together. But I guess it was just too much because they're young and stupid. And when I say
Yeah.
young and stupid, I'm not meaning that as like a, well, you know, they're kids who got pregnant. I mean, he was actually a moron, and so was she. They were not people that were making good grades, and not for lack of, like, you know, educational resources. They were just dumb people.
Gosh, is that like... I'm trying to remember where I heard that. Was it the same Prior Ryan that had that exact quote of describing an ugly person?
Ah, come on. I just got up.
Maybe it was.
God damn
We're
it,
over bloody
Valkyrie.
level 100 now.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be here, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm noticing you just go down every like 3 seconds now.
See, Charlie's thing, as I said, is basically invincible. But for me, it's like, I don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
Alright, due to me having to work tomorrow, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's probably justifiable.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's not a long day, but
Yeah, it was.
still. How much longer do you guys think are gonna be streaming? Because if not, I'm gonna bring up YouTube.
I'll go ahead with YouTube. I'm not going to be streaming that long.
Yeah, I'm coming
Alright.
soon. So,
Okay. Bye.
See ya.
Rigel.
See you, Raquel.
Hell.
Ah. I explored too far.
Hey, you're drawing the enemies away from me.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see where all the other air things are.
So what do you mean, Samaras? I don't want to use a fucking synthesis device.
We've gotten too many chassis.
Yeah, we have. We got fucking 3 of them. That really shouldn't happen, but hey, that's RNG, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you love RNG.
God damn it. Oh well, they're getting ticked.
Oh yeah, Rami announced that he's like gonna finally fix nuclear drone, so that's nice.
What's he been doing?
He's apparently been very busy. Like he's been taking planes everywhere and
I mean,
all
like,
kinds of stuff.
I get that, but like, I mean, there are other people that work at that company.
Are there though?
Yeah,
It's like one other guy, I think.
You go and actually die this time, Noid?
that's fine.
He still doesn't know what's causing the random portals. He said.
Life support has been replenished.
No! You've wasted this specimen. Was I wrong to entrust synthesis to you?
Was he, Charlie?
Was he unclear?
No, was he wrong to trust synthesis to you?
Huh, for me, he didn't say that. But, yes, he was wrong. He was very wrong about that.
Frick.
What were the enemies near you?
Support has been replenished.
There's a few enemies near me, and there's one thing that's gonna spawn in here. I might just
'Cause
pop
I-
that and move.
I want all the enemies near me.
Hello. I'll be right back.
Another life support capsule.
Don't hit me like that. That's really bad. There we go.
Life support activated.
The fact that this has gone on for 67 minutes is absurd.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Oh, I saw you before.
I kind of like the fact it's gone on that long, though.
It would be great if we could have gotten better stuff, though.
Yes.
Not that I'm saying we've got bad stuff, but we didn't get what we wanted.
RNG is weird to us, right?
Zephyr Tengu helmet.
Yeah.
So, Nick, they're adding a female Morty to Pocket Mortys, and some people are losing their shit. Because they're like, that's not a Morty then.
What's the female version of Morty?
It would just be a female Morty. It would just be like, you'd have to change the name, but it would still technically be a Morty.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of. Is the name
Oh yeah, nobody knows what the name is, but
Moray? Moray?
I'm thinking like Molly.
Oh yeah.
Damn it, you died. I was right at you.
I like Molly.
I hate that name.
No, but I mean for like the character.
Yeah, that'd work fine. My cat's name Molly. I hate it.
Maybe
Just sounds like
maybe
she's a
like
drug.
Mary. I don't know. Some sort of name. Martina. It's a terrible name.
Yeah,
I hope
kinda
nobody
is.
ever names their child that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Ah, that guy shotgunned me in the head.
69
Oh man, look at my
minutes.
lasers glitching out.
So past 69 minutes.
Other life support
Nice.
capsule is now available.
We just need to last like one more. We can say it's been 70.
Or we should like try last 80 so we get another C reward. I know
Yeah.
what you think.
We can try. It'll just be me dying a lot.
I mean, I'll certainly be able to do it, but
Yeah, but that's because again, Valkyr is literally broken.
More successful.
yeah, but I'm not on about that. I'm just saying that I can do it because of that. Yeah,
Should
but
keep you going for a while.
I walked into the room and a man turned it over and shot me. I don't understand why they haven't patched this character.
no, they haven't. Hello.
It just seems like it's like actually not supposed to be that strong, but they just don't want to bother fixing it. There you go, they're stunned.
I can't understand them anyway, as you saw.
I just got 2 Oberyn parts from that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Swimming in Oberyn parts.
Life support on the way.
Well, also, this is going to be stupid when you see the amount of affinity you get at the end.
Oh yeah.
For me, it won't actually be that much though, because I've been in Hysteria form, so it only really transfers to Valkyr, which is already level 30. So that kind of sucks.
You should put, did you use your lens already?
No, probably should.
Should put your lens on them.
Yeah, I really should.
Then you just get all of it. Oh, let me go, you dick. When an Eximus isn't around, I can kill these things just fine. The second an Eximus shows up, I'm toastered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a Battlestar Galactica Cylon. Down and out, but then I'm back.
And then I just...
I'm just gonna
Like
keep like
procs,
throwing
then-
out my like AoE procs. Because like I think this is the way that I handle this.
Yeah. That seems like the best idea.
Ow, ow, ow. Dick.
Just
Don't you dare.
T2.
Ah, you dick. I activated it though. Yeah, this is T2.
Alright.
134s.
I guess that's because was no nullifiers.
That's all these weirdos.
Yeah. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Close. Oh,
Alright.
that was over for now.
Ah.
35.
I think like this is where it starts to get to that point where it's like, what's happening?
For you.
Yeah, but I'm still able to. That corpus healed.
Yeah?
I guess there's a healer around. Like I can kill these guys just fine. It's the second any sort of like buffer shows up. That shouldn't have cast. I died. Oh, hey, that's cool. I can use it to stun them after I've already died.
That's cool.
It's like really helpful.
Yeah.
Another Oberon helmet. God damn it. Like 2 shots and my HP's just toast.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Considering what level they are right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty long time. Yeah, grab that, Charlie. Don't worry about it.
I'll still be able to save you as well.
Support has been replenished.
So we're alright.
Out of Gamma Core ammo. Yeah, guns are doing, like, squad all now.
I've actually gotten to the point where my melee weapons aren't doing too much unless I, like, spin.
Melee weapon does a little bit. God damn it,
Yeah.
I already, like, totally had that.
I have to do the crouch melee to actually do proper damage.
Okay. I wonder if Torrid does, like, anything at all still. Oh my god, I got shot mid-air. I mean, a Nova would be cool, but we're stuck with, like, a Valkyr.
Which is also cool.
Yeah, like, that's, like, what's helping us live.
Yeah.
I
Otherwise,
want
we would
Nova,
do
but I don't have the parts for Nova yet.
Consider extraction.
Ah! Sorry, the nuclear throne.
Ah, no, Nick, it's cool. You know that.
There's like 20 snipers. I'm melting. Oh. Okay.
Boom.
yeah, that stun's really fun, nice for me.
Glad to hear it. It's also pretty much my only way of, like, DPS at this point.
Shit. Rabbit's paw, laser brain, trigger fingers, and homing bolts.
Oh, Christ.
Oh my
Shotguns.
god. Those are like the 4 best mutations in the entire game.
Did you get them, like, all in the same thing?
Yeah, what do I take? It's just so good.
Life support activated.
Oh man.
Okay. Defense.
Oh.
This is, like, crazy town.
Yeah. This is quite crazy.
Okay, well, apparently, Torrid can still kind of do something occasionally.
Get ready
It's good.
for capsule.
Ah! Died.
Ah, freak. Ice. Less desirable. Yeah, sure, you can post a scoreboard link. Heck, more people that talk about Warframe with us, like, the better, because so far it's like nobody.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
know what you're talking about when you talk about Warframe stuff.
Yeah, but you, like, even when you're playing it, you don't know. You're just like, I want to hit things with my weird cyber ninja. Which is acceptable as well, Nick. Like, you wanna play a game to have fun, and Charlie and I are like, we wanna win this. we
having fun,
wanna
though.
win the Warframe.
Yeah,
Ah,
win
bugger.
bloody game.
Oh, sweet energy. How far is this one over here? Tiny gasp.
Ah. I'm trying to do melting, strong spirit, no rhino skin runs.
Charlie, 21.
Yeah,
Go grab something. I'm fine with dying.
yeah. We have to get to 80.
We'll do it.
Pick up.
We're so close, you know?
Ah! There's a flat cannon man.
Dun dun dun.
That alligator.
That should keep you going for a while.
Oh, there's a few in here then, I guess.
Life support incoming.
I'm actually probably gonna die soon because I have now no energy.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that was like fucking insta dead. That's fine. We're pretty much at the end anyway. Just
Ah,
you should just let me die. You shouldn't have done that.
that's fine. Whatever.
Like there are over a dozen alligators in this level. At least.
Oh fuck, that affinity it says. Bloody hell.
Killed them
So
all.
what, that's like over 500,000 affinity.
Whoa. I'm activating one.
Yep. I just went over like a little bit of oxygen. Alright, so now we've
I'm
pretty
dead,
much...
but leave me.
we've
It's
made it.
fine.
Yeah. Sweet. We made it to 80.
Wait, I should get a reward still, even if I'm dead, right?
Oh yeah.
Look what our Tenno have just found. They could not do this.
Paris Prime Blueprint.
So if I don't get a
Wow.
reward after this, I'm gonna be salty.
You do.
Okay.
Another job well executed.
Oh, hey, fired up.
Yep. That's a
There-
lot of shit on the left.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at all that.